Hold up, I need to get the stream page open. Hello, welcome to day 2 of the end of season tournament for the Muse scrimmage competitive system. I am Urz, with me is Papa Paradox.
Hello,
And
hello.
we have 8 teams left after yesterday's group stage. We started with 12, the 8 teams who have advanced to today's top 8 bracket. First, we're gonna have the Sky Invading Rhinos versus the Bully Boys on this stream. Then we will have the Flying Dutchman versus the Ducks, also on this stream. On the other stream, twitch.tv/Cordy2Jam, we're going to have Glowwater Thralls versus the Aeronautical Knights, and then Musosaurs versus Zill's Merry Men. After that, the plan as of now is to run the rest of the games consecutively, so each of those games will be streamed probably on this stream here, twitch.tv/GunsVicarous. We'll have the semifinals, the third place match, and then the finals. Um, Papa, can you get the bracket on
Yeah, yeah.
screen
I,
potentially?
I got it up already.
Oh, all right. And as you can see, each tier of the tournament is set to a specific map. So these first 4 matches here are going to be on Northern Fjords. Then we move into Rumble. I believe the third place match is going to be on Dunes, and finally Duel for the finals. I don't know. Maybe we're gonna have some games.
I feel like I just had a British racing announcer in my head when I looked at the server latency, and it's a nice latency here on Northern Fjords tonight. We're gonna have a good match of Goya. So I think we're ready to get started. The teams have filed in, unless they are talking amongst themselves.
They are not.
Silent, deadly. They're ready. A new pilot for BFS.
Wait a minute.
Dalrius.
What? That's interesting. We actually, if you want to switch to the lobby, there
Yeah.
we go. Yesterday we saw Dalrius flying yesterday in the group stage, but he was flying with Gilder. I actually talked with Brick earlier this morning and asked him if he was flying, and he said yes. But I assumed that meant he would be flying with Gilder. But apparently not. I guess their schedule's not matching up, perhaps. Dalrius is here to carry the flag for the Black Flight Squadron, so we'll see how this goes. I mean, they took their games yesterday pretty handily. Against the Flying Dutchman, and I forget who the other team was they played.
I need to pull up the bracket just to remind myself. Polaris? No, that was Merriman. We're the worst.
Hey man, it's not our job to manage this information.
Remembering is not on the docket. King Gregor's influence of the Fjord Baronies.
It was the Celestial Dragons who
Yes.
came out last in their group.
So on the Flying Dutchman, we have a Hades Banshee front with a Carronade Flare on the left. On the Lud, we have a Artemis front, Artemis left, and a gap mortar on the right. On the Rincewind, on the VFS side of things, we have Artemis on the left, dual Merc, or sorry, Artemis on the front, dual Merc on the left, gap mortar on the right. And on the Ulysses, we have, again, that very high explosive damage, Hwacha, Flak, Merc left side, and dual Hwacha right.
Yeah, so we see the Ulysses getting a very bad spawn here on this first at the beginning of this first game. Red team not able to put down any permanent damage though, and he does make it reunite with his blue ally relatively unscathed, being a Galleon. But yeah, interesting to see Brick here running the same Galleon setup as Gilder did yesterday. And I believe Brick is the one who has a little more experience with the Galleon, perhaps. He's run it with Gilder in the Envalin conflict, and well, we'll see how he does.
They're taking some permanent damage. That Tri-Artemis from the Blood is doing some work on the Ulysses at this point, and that Hades helping rein in.
Yeah, the Flying Dutchman running the Pyramidian loadout we've become accustomed to seeing from the Gentleman, that kind of long-range fire-based loadout with the Hades and Banshee, providing both piercing and a little bit of explosive damage, but primarily a disabling loadout.
And Ulysses
that combined with the...
Ulysses is pinned against that terrain, his balloon is out, and he's just being subjected to all sorts of damage at this point. There's not a lot the Rincewind can do.
That Hades does pretty reasonable damage to the balloon with fire as the primary modifier, and taking down the Ulysses on that terrain, just nothing he could do there.
Yeah, it's that triple Artemis. I mean, when you it's just such a big target, it's really hard to miss. So Lud just going to work, and Flying Dutchman helping complement that really well.
Now the Rincewind just kind of left out in the open to be subjected to superior long-range fire of the red team.
I mean, it's not impossible to come back from this sort of thing. I mean, this was kind of the same setup that the Merrier Men were running, with the really heavy disabled.
Well, yeah, not the same setup, but the same idea, the same strategy. A lot of light weapons designed for long-range disabling fire.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're not rocking dual Pyrrha, so.
I mean, if they're, if the bullies wanted to bring this Galleon again, I would have maybe liked to see a Lumberjack to pair with that Flak, just to give a little more long-range fire, or I would like to see them play a lot more aggressively, trying to advance on the red team's position, because this long-range fight, as we saw yesterday, is just like this doesn't work anymore.
They're way too dependent on that, I believe it's a Merc on the side of the Ulysses.
Yeah, Mercury, heavy Flak, Hwacha. So, like, they basically have just a single Merc for long range disabling versus the dual Merc, dual Artemis of the red team. Or not dual Merc, it's dual Artemis Hades Banshee.
Yeah.
Or triple Artemis, I should say, on that on the Lud.
And the Flak has a lot of travel time to it. It does a lot of damage, but it's getting that shot to connect when they can duck behind the arc fairly quickly.
Lud's armor going down.
Yeah, and he just coasts
behind.
behind.
The other thing about the Flak is it just, like the Artemis, even though it's an explosive weapon, it also has the shatter as secondary damage, so it does a lot of very good at disabling components. The heavy Flak, not so much. The heavy Flak really only is effective when the target's whole armor is down, and at this long range with just that Merc on the side of Ulysses, it's going to be tough to get that Flak shot at maximum effectiveness.
So
the timing's going to have to be phenomenal.
I'm just sitting on the Lud right now, and man, he's getting hurt. Although Bones is in Felion, at least I think that's how you say that, jumping on the hull fairly quickly, pilot just ducking behind the arc with relative ease, and then they'll peek back up and start returning pressure. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Managed to knock out the front gun on the Lud, so that'll help ease some of that Artemis damage, especially while they're preoccupying them with all the armor damage.
Yeah, for a little bit at least. I wonder why Fjords was picked as the part of the tournament with the most games.
That's a good point. I guess it's a throwback to the
claiming the Fjords tournament.
Yeah, that's the one.
That Morby ran back in February.
Wasn't there a tournament before that called like Thunderdome or something?
I think Thunderdooms was in like September. Maybe it might have been right after the release. I wasn't playing at the time, so I'm not sure how that went. But I know Cordy. I believe he flew in that tournament with like the double Carronade Pyramidion.
It was all Carronades, I'm pretty sure.
He's spoken often of what he refers to as the Cordy build.
Mm-hmm.
And only he.
I mean, you can trademark that all you want.
So we see the Galleon getting kind of the bad end of this long-range conservative fighting, with just being such a large target, having so many components clustered together, and most of them being heavy weapons that take a really long time to rebuild. And also the red team having the advantage of being close to this rib, so they can take better advantage of positioning to block a lot of these shots, to kind of come up for a moment, get a few volleys off, and then retreat to safety. As you see, actually, both of them are doing this rising up and down after they take their shots. Whereas the blue team, they're just kind of out in the open. They've got nowhere to hide.
Oh, I'm trying to quote Invictus, but I can't remember how it goes.
Flying Dutchman repositioning a little bit, potentially advancing underneath this ridge here.
Yeah, they're getting a bit impatient. You can see in chat.
Well, as some of you may know, the Sky Invading Rouse versus the Gentlemen, they had the longest best of 3 set of all time just a couple weeks ago during the Sunday Rumble.
Why?
Yeah, that was me and
Why
Rick
did we do this?
that.
Why did we do this?
It was Northern Fjords into Canyon Ambush. Just a perfect storm. It was a 3-hour best of 3 set.
Oh man, that is rough. That is rough.
So now we see the Lud here at a very high altitude, taking advantage of these. Basically, the Flying Dutchman is down low getting spots on the blue team, while the Lud's up in the clouds in relative safety, because the blue team can't spot him. They don't have any. I mean, they can't return fire on this junker here.
Do they have low arcs
so
on them
basically
though?
Just has
yeah, they do.
free reign.
Fight fire with fire.
Ulysses taking a lot of balloon damage.
Blue team doesn't have a lot of options here. If they start taking too much damage, they are in for it. Ulysses' guns are disabled, very low armor. Red team's just waiting for the cue to go right ahead. As soon as they start seeing red hitboxes, I'm pretty sure they'll just charge in.
Yeah, and we see them, red team, very slowly inching forward. They're being very careful about it. They don't want to rush into a bad situation. They want to just kind of close the vice grip around the necks of the blue team, just in a very deliberate manner.
Watching blue team right now is like watching an MMA fighter or a boxer after he's just been like almost knocked out, but he got back up and he's just kind of like staggering around in a daze. Like, because they keep backing up, and red team is just very slowly advancing, backing them into a corner. And I feel like if red team manages to get one of them down here, it's just going to be a domino effect because they're going to keep spawning there.
What? So we just got a report from the other bracket. Apparently the Aeronautical Knights have taken out Glowwater Thralls 5-3.
Wow.
Did not expect that.
Nope.
The Glowwater Thralls just with a dominating performance yesterday. Coming out first in their group, obliterating Polaris and taking taking a losing game against Zill's Merry Men, and then just having a three kill streak right to the bank. So, well, shame to see them out, but we will see the Aeronautical Knights advancing to the semifinals.
Musosaurs advance out of their bracket, and it's like, okay, I'm quitting Goyo now. That would be awesome. Just all the underdogs taking
So, Flying Dutchman now into the Watcher. He's advanced very far up here. He's in the Watcher range of the Ulysses. Lud a little farther back, providing suppression fire with those triple Artemis.
If you're gonna be that dependent on Artemis and you're just gonna keep using it like that, why wouldn't you just throw it on every side? I guess it's more like a deterrent factor that Flying Dutchman's gonna be taking a lot of damage here as Rincewind comes up behind him. He's lucky Ulysses is down in the dumps at the moment, but Rincewind is gonna be punishing him pretty hard.
Not quite sure about this decision. You saw the Flying Dutchman moving in. They almost got the kill on the Ulysses, but the Rincewind also came up alongside the Pyramidion, took down its armor, and the Rhinos got, I guess, a little antsy and they hydroed up, but somehow still getting the kill on Ulysses. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Didn't look like anyone was firing on him. But now the Rincewind.
Tweet at Muse Games, #transparent clouds.
Yeah. We see Ulysses here spawning closer to the red side of the map.
I mean, he got lucky.
Eastern spawn.
Yeah, he got really lucky that he didn't spawn in the same valley. I was worried that was just gonna
spawns. Pretty good spawns for the blue team, about as well as they could hope for. Far away from the red team, but close enough to each other that they can meet up. And I wonder if we're just gonna see them set up again on this side of the map.
I was waiting for, one of them to spawn in the valley and then just a domino effect happening. But they got pretty lucky here.
Yeah, that is something we see, particularly on this map and Dunes. Just people getting just horrible spawns, dying before they can meet up with their ally, and it just keeps happening because they're just never able to regroup. But red team looks like they want to be more aggressive this time. We see them now rushing in. Also, what you were saying earlier about the Lud, with why he's not running 5 Artemi. I mean, what's the point? I think once they're in the close range, they want to use that gap mortar. They want to have the additional killing power. So, no, it doesn't. If you're only using the Artemis at medium to long range, it really doesn't matter what side it is, because it's easy enough just to turn to give that side the arcs.
That Hades. The thing about the Hades is that fire damage. I mean, it adds up after a while, and then your balloon's out, and the weapons you were neglecting on the ship also go down, so to be super careful. Really watching.
Well, and it's nice because it also supplements the Artemis a bit. Because even when the Artemis doesn't actually take down the components by itself, it severely damages them. So when you add that on top of the AoE fire damage from the Hades, it is a very effective disabling combination to finish off any damage components. But I'm just not sure what blue team could. I think really. I mean, I think their only option here is just to somehow get in the close range and try to take advantage of the dual watch on the Ulysses, because as we saw yesterday, these galleons are just not able to fight the triple Artemis Junker, to fight the long range Pyramidion. They're just too effective at disabling those heavy weapons.
I mean, I think we're starting to see a bit of a movement away from heavier ships. opting to take the more disably, Junkers and Pyramidians. Or at least I think that's what we're going to end up seeing as a trend in this patch, because these disable builds are doing a lot of work on these heavier builds.
And I think a lot of that is just teams getting gunners getting more accurate with the weapons, more comfortable with these weapons, so that they can hit almost every single shot to make sure those weapons never come back up, making the disabling that much more effective. Because I mean, like let's say a lumberjack, merc, flak, you really only need one volley to kill a ship. So if you're running a disabling loadout, you can't give them a single moment of brevity to get those guns back up. You need to keep them down continuously, so they never have a chance to return fire because they have superior DPS to you. But then again, with this Flak Quacha merc, doesn't quite have the same long-range potential as if they were using a lumberjack.
We can see Niles Sugo hoping that their long match just makes all the other people leave the tournament, as in the Sunday Rumble.
Oh dear. Wouldn't that be something?
I'm sorry, Urz, I need to eat. Welcome back to hour 8.
Alright, after this game, you need to go get some toast or something.
Dude, I had waffles. I am set.
Oh.
That's the thing with the Hades, that arc can be a fairly tricky object to try and shoot under, because of course it does arc upwards.
But it does allow some kind of trick shots over terrain if you're really familiar with it.
Yeah, that's true. I cannot
also,
shoot
you
that
see
gun
here,
for shit though.
pretty much the same. The teams having switched sides, we see the same positioning, more or less happening as in the first engagement. Red team staying closer to the ridge, using the terrain to their advantage, whereas the blue teams just they're just out in the open.
I feel like they're just kind of perpetuating their own demise by not using any cover. Like that bridge, they could have probably used that in some way.
I mean, they could have used the ship, or this spike that's next to Ulysses. At a low altitude, there's actually a lot of terrain that teams can take advantage of on this map.
Yeah.
But we're not seeing any of that. I mean, it's also difficult with the Ulysses just being
disabled 100% of the time.
Well, not only that, but the weapons they've chosen to use, the Quacha, the Flak, the Mercury, these are all guns which have pretty poor vertical arcs, so they cannot shoot very high up, whereas the Lud, the Artemis has a much better downward arc than any of those guns have upward arc. But we see Ulysses now going down, just unable to deal with this onslaught of sniper fire from the sky invading rhinos.
That was a nice deke shot by Rinswind. However, he's banging into some terrain, and he's gonna try and get over this spike. We'll see if Ulysses can get some complemented fire in there. Dutchman's arcs are now gone. Rinswind might try to put some fire down on him. No, Rinswind is just trying so very hard to try and stay alive.
Well, he turned Brawl's side, but all his guns are disabled, or the guns on that side are disabled, so there's just nothing he can do. And I feel like this is about the end for the bullies, as the Flying Dutchman moves in to do a Goomba stomp onto the Junker, sending him to an icy death.
As he coasts in the most narrow of crevasses.
And unfortunately, Ulysses, Brick Hardcastle not bringing any sort of engine propulsion tools, so it's going to take him a very long time here to get back into the fight.
How much vertical movement did Brick take?
Just Hydro and Drogue shoot.
Okay. Rinswind just holding down like a boss, however. Oh, but nothing but hull in the final shot. making the red team advance. Sky invading rhinos. I wonder who's updating the Beast website.
To be honest, if I were to guess, I'd say nobody. If it was somebody, it'd probably be Keyvice. Although I think Keyvice is flying now on the other stream, I guess.
Well played, guys.
Some GG's going down as we look at the bracket. So far we know that Sky Invading Rhinos are advancing, as well as the Aeronautical Knights, correct?
That is correct.
And now we're moving on to the Flying Dutchman versus the Ducks.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting. Both the Flying Dutchman and the Ducks have been pretty aggressive during this tournament. Although I'm looking at the Skype chat here, wondering if this bracket's going to be updated, but I don't think it is.
I could fill it in with titles, but
yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm not sure. I've seen Sammy BT and Frogger fly together in a competitive match. So,
yeah.
From what Cordy, what?
That'll be hellfire for whoever they're facing. And I do not
from
envy
what
them.
Cordy was saying, they were playing very aggressively, maybe more along the lines of how the Raft traditionally played. So, I guess we'll have to see.
Thank you to our beautiful
again,
Raft Ram Jam Slam for setting up these games for us.
And it's also going to be on Rumble. No, it's not. What am I talking about?
It's on Fjords. First round.
Yeah, it's early in the morning here in America Town. 10:30 a.m. here on the West Coast. Papa was complaining even though it's afternoon where he is, so he has no right to complain about anything.
I stayed up till 4.
And also showing up 15 minutes before we go live.
Yeah, fashionably late.
Yeah, more like a trash bag with holes cut in it to prevent the rain. That's about how fashionable your lateness is.
Yeah. I'm like the Louis Vuitton of fashionably late.
Alright, this lobby is up. Filling up slowly here. If we want to switch the scene.
If I can find the lobby, there it is.
Yeah, you might want to start it since you're a mod.
Now shouldn't I?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the servers haven't been the best
Yeah.
lately.
Oh jeez, the ducks are talking
I'm
here.
just wondering, do ducks still quack when they're dead?
Good.
Well, that's
Good
one of the
question.
first
I wouldn't-
things you learn as a caster of this game, or any game really. It's very difficult to talk when other people are talking.
Yeah.
So, as if you are a competitor in any of these events, know that you probably will not be able to talk directly to the spectators, just because we usually have you muted, so we can talk with each other on the stream.
A lot of productions have people talking in their ears, and I don't know how they manage to keep commentating when that's happening.
Well, I do that sometimes. I speak in your guys' ears.
Yeah.
But I'm not constantly talking, just giving, little corrections, little pointers, cues, if
Stop
you were.
swearing so much is usually the main one.
This is a family-friendly broadcast, okay? We are here to promote strong family values.
For the ducklings. Heyo.
Do we know who ended up casting with QWERTY on the other stream?
I have no idea. Should ask Stream Chat. I do not have it open, however.
As we're just waiting here for the last member of the Ducks to join in.
I'm gonna actually do something cool. I'm gonna try this.
Are you gonna kill us all? You going to completely wreck the stream trying to bring up some type of
No, I'm just
overlay
I'm
thing?
just gonna throw up Stream Chat on stream.
Have you seen that PlayStation? Have you seen any PlayStation 4 streams?
No. I'm very
It's
much.
kind of interesting how they do it. It's like a sort of picture-in-picture. Like the top left, 70% of the screen is the game. Along the right side, they have the channel name and the view count. And then along the bottom, it's a scrolling chat, and that's all automatic. Like a one-click, just stream from your PS4 type thing, and it sets all that up.
Well, yeah, I saw when the president was streaming from it or whatever.
Yeah, Shuhei Yoshida. He
Yeah.
was apparently just had an ad hoc knack stream, and he wasn't doing so hot. Apparently, that game is pretty difficult, or surprisingly difficult to say the least.
Maybe he just was like, you know what, it's hard mode
But
time.
I'm wondering what kind of effect that's going to have on the streaming community, the streaming ecosystem. Just having, because the way it is now, everyone kind of sets up the stream their own way. They set up the graphics, they set up the overlays. So each stream kind of has its own personality from a visual aesthetic perspective. But now with the PS4, every stream's going to look exactly the same in that manner.
Well, I mean, they
So
can
it's
still
sorta
run
like-
it through a streaming program. Like, you don't need to use that. So people with higher production value won't really care to use that at all because they already have the means.
Doesn't the PS4 use HDCP? So they can't.
don't know.
I'm not sure.
There'll be a work-through.
I remember that was a problem with the PS3 streaming. Like a lot of reviewers were complaining about having difficulty capturing game content from that device because it's encrypted. It has this not anti-piracy, but like it's just a copy protection type thing. So you can't actually get video out of that device unless it's to a television. So who knows? But it would be cool if at some point they added options, maybe in a firmware update, to maybe customize your display a little bit, add a little bit of personality, maybe some custom graphics.
Yeah.
Because it's really cool that this functionality is built into the system, and that with one click you can go live and stream for your friends or whatever, maybe even build an audience, perhaps. It's just kind of like a turnkey solution.
The whole backseat gaming thing where you can, like, apparently pass off control to someone who's watching you. I can just
I'm
see
not
that
sure what's going on here with the Ducks.
Yeah.
They've lost Frogger.
Waiting for them to file in. Maybe just a quick drop. Who knows? Cray T saying they're migrating south. Looks like the Flying Dutchmen are opting to take a squid. It is an interesting choice against such a survivable team as I don't know what is the name of this team now? Is it just the Ducks?
I guess. so?
I guess it is nondescript
Nondescript
team.
Ducks team.
The Raft Brood combination, I think.
The Brooft? The Braft?
The Broofed. I don't know which I like better. Both of those are excellent.
I'm not sure I'd classify either of those as excellent.
Braft sounds like a frat boy trying to name a Goyo team. Psi Delta Ducks, the Braft. Ducks is now a Greek letter, by the way.
Yeah, Deadpool being a little indecisive with his ship, I suppose. Maybe not wanting to reveal what he's going to run until the countdown starts.
I mean, when you're up against such a strong team as a Sammy Frogger combination in the Ducks, taking a Spire or a Squid is a pretty big gamble.
What? Looks like the Merry Men have taken down the Musosaurs. Unsurprising.
Howard, we won. Got one kill.
I'm sure that was their goal for today. Get one kill in their game.
I mean, it's the reachable goals. He's setting very, very practical goals for himself and his team.
But yeah, some interesting loadouts going down in this game.
Apparently, it's just communal party break, and now they're done.
So the people who may be confused here, so the first round of quarterfinals is supposed to be all Northern Fjords. However, the Ducks are the current holders of the Periton Rumble map title thing that happened back in the Flotsam Dynasty. So the Flying Dutchmen have challenged the Ducks to their title, which did change the map to Periton Rumble, which is, I'm sure, to the relief of everyone. We were playing on Periton Rumble, and not Fjords.
I mean, I don't think either of these teams are ones to sit back and snipe.
So that's true.
We have Admiral Quackbar rocking Carronade Banshee right side, Artemis Hades on the left with an Artemis up front. And on the Dancing Feather, we have a Gap Mortar left side and a Gap Mortar right side and a Merc up front. No Sunderland on the front of that Merc, so Merc shots will be a little less frequent, hitting everything. We have Artemis Hades up front on the Rainboom Husky, and an Artemis Flamer on the left. And on Deadpool Airlines, we have Gat Artemis up front and Carronade on the left.
Gat Artemis, Pyramidion. I'm not so sure about that, but
yeah, that's
we'll see how it goes, because Gatling has such a short range after this recent patch.
Maybe it's like disable as you get in, and then I mean it could work.
I'd still rather have a Hades Artemis, I think. So then you can start firing much earlier when you're in the Artemis range.
Well, that depends if you have a gunner who can actually shoot the Hades, because that gun is evil.
Well, the Rainboom must think they do, because they are running the Hades Artemis.
And this is interesting. Quackbar and Dancing Feather not seeing the blue team, as they are pretty much right beside each other. I think Rainboom saw them through that crevice in the building. Oh, tar going out, so I only assume that they know they're there.
Yeah, I guess they must have seen them, but didn't see enough of them to know which direction they're pointing, whether they would be able to get a favorable engagement. So just taking the safe option, retreating for now, and then coming in again later, when they know they can get a favorable angle. So this Junker loadout from Sammy BT is also pretty interesting. Historically, he has run I believe, a Gap Mortar double carronade Junker, and from what people say and from what he's demonstrated in competitive events, he favors the double carronade side, that disabling Junker strategy. And we see him now with an old disabling ship, one side carronade Banshee for the close range disabling, then the Hades Artemis for long range disabling. So it's very interesting, and I think this is a very good map for it. Just
think the Quackbar
is-
sees him.
Periton just good for balloon destruction in general, because there's so much terrain to navigate around as you fall down, and it's very difficult to retreat.
Yeah, they definitely know where they are, and blue team's about to have a very nasty surprise in the form of the right side
I
guns.
think blue team knows. They're waiting here. They see the positioning. You see Deadpool Airlines backing up a little bit, so they must know red team's here. And yeah, we see a spot going down and some fire.
The Quackbar getting lit up. I mean,
Do you have game sound on?
Sorry, what?
Do you have the game sound on the stream?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
The production manager in you. I mean, I
Deadpool
wouldn't want
Airlines getting separated vertically from his ally, taking a lot of fire from the red team, but then Dancing Feather landing on top of this little building.
Oh,
Getting
Quackbar
stuck for
taking
a
a
moment.
bunch of hits. One more, and he's gone. Dancing Feather trying to rein in, catch him up. Rainboom needs to try and help Deadpool Airlines, but before they can even get turned around, Dancing Feather helping clutch tie those up.
Rainbow needs to get out of here. Dancing Feather, they have the double Gap Mortar sides on this Junker. They have much superior DPS in the close range. Rainbow Husky needs to retreat. They're not retreating. They are dying. They are falling to the ground in pieces.
There's what you should do and what you can do, and it's a weird Venn diagram with pretty much nothing in between.
I mean, that engagement started off, it went pretty well for the Flying Dutchman at first. Dancing Feather kind of got stuck. It was kind of a weird engagement. Blue team did capitalize, but then Rainbow Husky with some sketchy decision making.
Deadpool Airlines already deciding to shoot, even though he's really disconnected from his teammates, so he's giving away his position without having a teammate nearby. I mean, Deadpool Airlines, what is he doing?
If you look at the map, both the blue ships are moving in together, so they're trying for some type of pincer maneuver. But
that's
don't
not
think that's a good
gonna
idea.
work. You can see the dancing
What's
feather.
the Rainbow Husky doing?
I do not know. Oh, that was
He's kind of repositioning around the map, but he's not putting any fire. Well, okay, here we go. Now putting some fire onto the Quackbar at long range. Deadpool Airlines now engaged with the Dancing Feather. And this is again going to be, well, I mean, if that Artemis on the front of the Deadpool Airlines can take down those guns, they've got a good shot here in this 1v1 engagement.
He missed quite a bit of that first Gatling round, and now he is just eating mortar for breakfast from the dancing feather, just getting that armor back up in time.
Man, that Artemis doing absolutely nothing, but they do manage to take down the armor with the Gatling, so Dancing Feather opting to drop down a bit, drop out the gun arcs.
Quackbar just chipping away at Deadpool Airlines, halving what was left of his health.
Yeah, Rainbow Husky putting a little suppression fire onto the Quackbar, but I feel like he needs to move up and support from a little bit of a closer range.
He's reining that Gat in, and there goes the latter half of that round as Dancing Feather tries to do a tar pass onto the
See, and
Deadpool Airlines, and Quackbar just helping finish them up.
That's another problem. A Pyramidion versus a Junker in a 1v1 engagement. I mean, it's weird because both the ships have their own advantages. The Junker, obviously a lot more maneuverable. The Pyramidion, the least maneuverable ship in the game, it has a lot of difficulty turning, so if the Junker strafes around the Pyramidion, then it can just kind of take complete control of a fight. But on the other hand, if the Pyramidion has the ramming ability, so if you can get a good ram with the Pyra and knock the Junker's gun arcs off, then you can go into the fight with an advantage. But we saw there that the Deadpool Airlines just was not able to put consistent fire onto the Junker. Those Artemis shots, which it was really important that they disable the Junker's guns with that explosive, that shatter damage, and they were unable to do it. So they just succumbed to the superior damage from that Gatling mortar.
And we did see Blue Team missing quite a bit of their GAT when they were shooting. Not something you want to do against a Junker because it is so very durable. You need to make every bullet
also
count.
The Rainboom Husky opting to stay at supreme long range that entire fight as the Admiral Crackbar tried to meet back up with his ally to 2v1 the Deadpool Airlines.
You can see that.
Again,
You can see the Merc off the bow of the Dancing Feather just trying to do work on the Rainboom Husky, trying to get some disables off on those front guns, and
this is the same problem we saw from the Flying Dutchman yesterday, right? They weren't staying together. They weren't going in together. They weren't it seemed like they weren't synchronized. Engaging at very different distances. But now we have the Deadpool Airlines.
Nice tear pass from the Quackbar.
Yeah, he should have seen that coming. He's done it enough times in competitive play. Admiral Quackbar, Sammy BT, one of, I guess, the more prevalent users of TAR in this game.
Rainboom Husky using that Phoenix Claw, I believe, and just completely overshooting. Unless he's trying to get his side guns on there.
Yeah, you see here the Deadpool Airlines with all its guns disabled, now the Quackbar strafing behind it. Deadpool Airlines unable to really do anything. And it looks like the Quackbar is going to opt to leave and go meet up with his ally to 2v1 the Rainboom Husky, which is very vulnerable right now. It's just there's nothing the Deadpool Airlines can really do about it. Their balloon's damaged, they're knocked to a pretty low altitude. It's just going to take them so long to engage these red ships.
Admiral Quackbar needs to watch his entry as he coasts along this building. Rainboom Husky gonna try and run, but I don't think he'll get very far with that GAT tearing his back end up. That's one thing you have to watch for when you're in that close proximity trying to run from GAT. It can still disable your engines. Deadpool Airlines getting up.
True.
Coasting around the same way as opposed to just going around the other way. And again, red team splitting.
To get back in this fight.
Rainboom Husky, there he goes. That hit from the terrain, knocking it just where it needed to be.
More tar from the Dancing Feather, preventing Deadpool from effectively chasing him down. And Admiral now just going into the Admiral Quackbar's long-range side.
Yeah, I don't think he was opting to chase at all. I think he was just like, okay, I'm running now. If he decided to try and turn the pyramid in, yeah.
Trying to go through the alley there by that tower, hitting the building instead. Rainboom Husky coming back in now. Got some very long-range Hades shots, all missing. Admiral Quackbar actually doing some invasive maneuver here, ducking down. So all those shots going overhead.
And this could be an opportunity for Blue Team. They need to try and make as much of this as possible. Admiral Quackbar is fairly cut off from the Dancing Feather at this point. Bouncing off terrain, Dancing Feather is kerosening in here. But wow, enough tar.
Huge tar. Nothing going down though. So some weapons damaged, but they could get back in commission very quickly here and take down the Quackbar. But even if they do, they have to be careful about the Dancing Feather coming up behind them because, again, red team are on match point here. They just need the one kill. Those Hades shots, come on.
And now he's just out of arc. He's underneath that building. Rainboom Husky's backing up way too far, and now he can't even get fire on the Admiral Quackbar. Big misstep from Rainboom Husky. He's trying to keep that Hades in its arming time, but in the process, he just completely lost arcs on the Admiral
Deadpool
Quackbar.
Airlines using those side carronades, taking down the Quackbar's balloon, and then
Oh,
ramming
nice
him.
ram.
Great kill there.
Yeah.
But now Dancing Feather right alongside, taking a weird bump, maybe getting his guns a little out of arc, but Deadpool needs to retreat. He needs to stay alive.
He's gonna sink.
And it looks
down.
like he's going to do it.
This game might be closer than we first anticipated. Diplo Airlines gonna just try and drop on him here.
Yeah. Dancing Feather's balloon taking a lot of damage from that Hades.
He's kind of blocking his own
Admiral
exit with that tower.
Admiral Quackbar coming back in with the Mercury.
I mean, I think these open engagements are what the blue team really needed. The red team completely outmaneuvered them when they were in claustrophobic areas.
Dancing Feather with a huge tar here as their balloon goes down.
But it's coasting along with them, so they'll have to watch for that.
Interesting to see the decision making from red team here. You saw Admiral Quackbar at first staying behind. I think they were pretty confident that the Dancing Feather was going to go down. They didn't want to run into their own meat grind situation. But now Dancing Feather coming out of it more or less pretty, intact. And they're just going to meet up here.
I think that was excellent decision making. I mean, nice
absolutely.
survivability by Frogger there.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it just blue team just with the positioning was very weird with the terrain. Blue team not knowing how to capitalize on that engagement, how to get that kill. Because I think they definitely could have. But we see them kind of just hanging out here on the south side of the map, waiting for red team to come back in. The Admiral Quackbar putting down some Mercury fire. Looks like the Flying Dutchman have opted to focus the Quackbar. Not sure about that decision, probably just because it was the closer target, but the Dancing Feather I think is the biggest threat here. Just because it has significantly more killing power in a 2v1 situation.
Quackbar taking big hits. Deadpool in for the ram. Only hitting balloon, however. And he evaporates.
Rainboom Husky, gotta be careful here. Gotta tank that hole.
And Dancing Feather once again. I mean, I don't... Deadpool Airlines shooting at Rainboom Husky. Their nerves, you can tell, are finally starting to get a bit shaky. Admiral Quackbar looks like he's running into this fight fairly quickly. Dancing Feather knows he's pretty safe at this point. So he's just going to coast and try and meet up.
I'm not
Holy
sure.
tar, Batman.
They are Pyramidians, and they do have kerosene, and Dancing Feather is tarring, so that will cut its engine output a little bit. I think Blue Team has the chance to maybe catch... Well,
He is tarring a lot.
Through the tar.
Like, a lot.
Well, that is true, but both Rainbow Husky and the Deadpool Airlines do have hydrogen, so if they decide to pursue at a very low altitude underneath the tar, I mean, they could pop up together and get a pretty quick kill once they catch up, but they've decided not to do it. They see the Quackbar coming in. He's out in the open. They want to get Sammy BT's junker.
Rainboom needs to start making those Hades connect as they all coast over the top of the Admiral Quackbar. There's a weird balance the Rainboom needs to strike because their gunners are struggling at long range, so he needs to get close enough that they can hit and maybe high enough. I think that would help a bit as well. But that's really narrowing their engagement options here.
Rainbow Husky staying back, providing a long-range support fire. Deadpool Airlines starting to take some damage here.
They know Dancing Feather is apparently the weaker of the two because they know they killed Admiral Quackbar in the last engagement, so they're just trying to...
Yeah, taking down a lot of the guns on the Dancing Feather with the Artemis this time. So Dancing Dancing Feather unable to get a kill on the Deadpool Airlines, and now taking a ton of damage as the Admiral Quackbar repositions, tries to get behind the Flying Dutchman. Not sure about this decision.
Oh, the Admiral Quackbar going in. Dancing
Yeah,
Feather's
I mean-
just surviving, but not much longer. Could we be seeing the rise of the underdogs in this tournament as DFD get one kill away from progressing to the...
I mean, it'd be one thing if it was the
Quarterfinal.
Dancing Feather who was sidling around, because the Dancing Feather can get a kill by itself if it comes behind them, but the Admiral Quackbar is a disabling ship. It doesn't have the raw killing power of the Gatling Mortar, so even if he gets behind these ships, he's just not going to be able to kill both of them, or kill one of them before the other can turn around to support. But, again,
But they have tar.
tarring away.
But
This
they
is
have
true, but
tar.
the Deadpool Airlines going the other way, he's going to catch him by surprise.
A lot of that gat just flying shy of the Quackbar. And he's gonna keep going around the edge of map. Oh, but that last minute indecisiveness puts him into a building as he backs into his own tar. Insult to injury right there. But he's gonna survive.
He
and
is gonna meet
Dancing
up with
Feather
the-
is here.
Blue
Quackbar.
team focusing the Quackbar. Oh, man, if those
Oh,
Pyramidians
Deadpool.
just,
Deadpool needs to hang on here. That gat just ending right in time for Deadpool. Deadpool still focusing Admiral Quackbar. Oh, there's that dual gat. You can tell they want to just end this quickly.
yeah, I'd really like to see them focus the Dancing Feather here being the primary damage dealer in this engagement, forcing them to repair, taking away from their gunning. But now they're kind of splitting focus. They're a little, like you said, a little indecisive. Where's Deadpool Airlines going? What are you doing?
He ended up, I assume, trying to
I guess he
moonshine
tried
in.
to ram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about this in-game latency. Pretty jumpy.
This is a messy fight here.
Yeah.
This is a bar side brawl. These guys have had a couple drinks. They just these are not clean hits. Dancing Feather really low here. His balloon taking a lot of damage. His whole armor's down.
Oh, the gunning is everywhere. Dancing Feather getting chipped away. Both red ships at a bit of a disadvantage. Rainbow Husky starting to take some hits,
Rainbow
big
Husky.
hits, and he's dead. Was he caught up on that train? I wasn't close enough to actually
Yeah,
tell.
his balloon got taken down by that carronade.
Oh, nice play by Red Team. That was a close one. Yeah, Sammy rolling out the expletives. You can tell they were jittery towards the end of that one. Both viewable
Yeah,
in
I
their play and their
definitely think-
reaction afterwards.
I definitely think based on the loadouts, the red team had much superior loadouts for 1v1 fights. The blue team, those guns more disabling, less DPS, less killability, or less killing power, I should say. So I think they definitely should have
Killability.
tried. The Flying Dutchman should have tried to stay
Oh,
together and
gosh.
focus one target rather than letting the Ducks split them up as they did at the end there. But yeah, the Ducks will advance.
To face the Sky Invading Rhinos in match 5.
Yes.
And then it will be the Aeronautical Knights versus Zill's Merry Men in match 6. Then we move on to the finals.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on here. I see an MM versus AK lobby that's running. Won't let me join though.
I'm gonna shoot QWERTY a quick message.
I think they may be running the semifinals match already on. Actually, I'm just gonna Just gonna check the other stream. Yeah, we see the Zills Merrymen. Zills Merrymen are playing against the Aeronautical Knights on the other stream. Currently up 3-1. I thought we were gonna run all the semifinals on one stream, but I suppose not. As we sit here and stew in our dead air, I suppose we will get this Rhinos Ducks game going, and we'll just run this here on this stream.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll run it.
Periton Rumble. And I see the bracket on stream, not still not updated. But we are moving into the semifinal, the top semifinals match: Skyming Rounds versus the Ducks.
Here,
as this lobby fills up.
I'll do this.
So how about you guys? What is going on here? I see it. There's a giant ducks on the stream.
I am updating the brackets in real time. Fear my
We'll do it
beautiful
live.
beautiful titles.
See, this is the kind of high quality production you will experience from the participants.
Excuse me while I
of
take a really
community
quick
sports.
shot. Holy,
Um,
I'm jittery.
So how's the stream doing? How are you guys in chat doing? Are you enjoying these games? Let's get some chat activity.
Panda the Doctor asking if there's a Sunday Rumble today.
Let's get some side betting.
Salty bets.
Ah, yeah.
There we go. There we go. Beautiful, up to date bracket.
Hooray!
And go in the lobby. And I can throw up. Why does chat not work? Region capping is so...
I need to go AFK for like 30 seconds here.
Fair enough. There we go. Orangey, you got your bets on Sir. I mean, they're playing pretty strong. Ducks had a pretty sketchy end in the last game. We'll see if the Aeronautical Knights can try and shrug out those Merrymen, but after yesterday's performance, I think the Merrymen are looking to perform way better than they did. Yeah, Cold Curse, that was an excellent performance. Very, very close. Weird engagements from both sides towards the end. You can tell that nerves were starting to play a factor.
All right. Let's see. So we have. Let's look at the chat here. We have Orangey rooting for the underdogs. Aeronautical Knights, Sky Invading Rhinos, finals, please.
I feel like